It's my pleasure to welcome to the program a new guest, Kyle Kluth with Pinnacle Eco Clean. Kyle, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jeff. Appreciate it.
But we don't know you, Kyle. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do there at Pinnacle.
So I've been with the company since forever, born into it. My dad's the owner of the company, Kevin, and I kind of head up the operations, day-to-day operations. I'm a master textile cleaner from ISSA, and I get into a lot of the high-end homes, and also we do a lot of rug washing, dealing with clients and managers that host these high-end homes.
I'm a little impressed with your first moments here. So let's talk about that. First
Okay,
impressions. Yeah.
sounds good.
Um, a business owner, and since you said you were brought into this business kicking and screaming as a child, I would imagine,
Yeah.
your father taught you the basics of business and how to deal with customers, did he not?
Yes.
Okay. Employees are not the same. They're not brought into it the way you were. You hire them and you maybe hope for the best. But that first impression is so important. So when you are dealing with your technicians, those who are going to be speaking to your customers face to face in their home, what is it that you can offer as advice to win over that customer with that first impression, that first 30 seconds?
Well, I we really subscribe to the philosophy that the first 30 seconds happens way before you even get to that house. So all of our technicians know you got to look a certain way. Your uniform has to be in good standing, because your clients, when they answer the door, they're not looking for perfection. They're looking for what's out of place. And not, this is something that happens naturally, is if you see something like a stain on somebody's shirt, your eye is automatically drawn to that, especially as cleaners, right? So, but the same thing goes with technicians at the door making a good first impression. And then just also how you stand. You always want to step back from the door, which is something that I kind of always knew to do. But it's not something that everybody does. You don't ever want to knock on the door and just stand right there with your face next to the door, waiting for them to come in. So you want to make sure you take a step back, smile, just be happy that you're there. And then there's also some ways that we do talking with the clients.
But what are some key actions or behaviors that when you hire someone, you try to train them besides what you shared?
There's a lot. There's a lot that goes with it. And it's almost kind of more like an apprenticeship. There are certain things that you teach them. Like, for instance, when we go to the door and we want to take a tour of somebody's house, basically knowing what we're going to be doing for cleaning, we always ask them. Because sometimes they kind of stand at the door and they don't know what to do. It's like, do you mind if you would give me a tour of your home so we can see what we're going to do for you? And it's disarming because it's not like you're just like, all right, let's go look at what we're going to do. That can be a little bit more abrupt to the person, the client at the door. So there's things like that that we teach. We always want to ask permission rather than just say, this is what we're going to do. So it gives the homeowner a illusion of control, right? Even though we know what's going on and we can go with it from there. But there's also some things that we do, like just as they see our lead technicians or myself, the way that we comport ourselves with our clients, um, we want to tell them after, did you see how I did X, Y, and Z with this client? That's because I noticed that she was doing, she was nervous or something like that. So I wanted to take a step back. So it's always like an ongoing learning process that we constantly are trying to strive to have with our technicians in this regard.
So you're describing training that never ends. More
Yes.
than about a dozen employees
Yep.
working with your company. How do you make things consistent with all of them? Because you're going to have some that are naturally engaging with people, customers love them. Others that are may hold back a bit. What do you do to balance all that?
So actually, one thing that comes to mind that we do is we have daily morning meetings, and one thing that has been really good for us and our company is we've actually subscribed to Super Tech University, and being able to talk about the disc profile really helps hone everybody's kind of personality because they can see where they're deficient and where they need to make up. But they can also see where they might be a little bit overbearing. So like me, I know that I'm an I on that DISC personality assessment, but talking to somebody who's a C, I maybe need to kind of tone it down a little bit, or somebody who's an S as well. We just want to make sure that we get along with everybody.
Those personalities are interesting things, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
To match up. So thinking about if you have a team and they're all trained and they're all able to make that positive first impression, what kind of an impact does that have on company growth and keeping clients, would you say?
When everybody knows what they're doing, they're and what they're supposed to do and is happy with it, and they're happy with knowing exactly how things are going to come out and how to talk to a customer, they're happy with their job. And that kind of exudes like within them and shows, and the clients are happy because of that. Our clients routinely, this is something that I guess I didn't realize is unusual, will actually call us like at least once a day. We get a call from a client. Your technicians were the nicest technicians. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were so nice. They asked questions. They always made sure that we were comfortable with what they were doing. Like routinely, we get customers call us, and that's really says a lot about our technicians and how good they are too.
What that tells me is you have a system in place that works, you have good people. Now, we only talked about the first 30 seconds or so. What you described is the entire customer experience. I guess we have more to talk about later.